Oh, I am resident of Colorwood for YouTube. Joel Saints. That's my buddy Alan Gallant. That's my buddy Patrick McCray. We're here to talk some Dark Shadows. Uh, we have touched upon Quentin's ghost at times. What are you guys' thoughts on Quentin's ghost? Is it Quentin? Isn't it? What's up here?
Well, first of all, have you heard the word of God? Sorry. All right. Quentin's ghost, you said?
Yeah.
Well, obviously, he's sort of the first transgressive, possessive ghost we see in long term. Anyway, the only other transgressive ghost I can think of that we see is the dude that laughs at Barnabas in 1795, and when Barnabas tries to shoot him, he disappears. But that's a very brief encounter. It's a great shakeup. I mean, obviously, it's designed. I think from the beginning, it's designed to get us into a different time band, but it's done very artfully. It's done on the slow burn. We're not going to have him talk for a while. We're not going to let you know why he's doing what he's doing for a while. We're just going to have him possess the children. And so we're going to do, of course, that's a classic story. That's the Henry James story. So they've got a basis for it, but it's also somewhat different, which is the smart thing to do always. And so I think it's a real open door to what's about to happen, which is the most popular segment of the entire show. So.
Yeah. Patrick, what do you think? Who is Quentin's ghost? What is he?
Okay, so there are two levels we can look at this on. One is just sort of the interesting metaphor that you have, where it's all about the David figure. I mean, he's alienated one, and so he's trying to almost ingratiate himself in with the echo of Jameson.
Yes.
And I think that's interesting.
It is.
It gets really dense in a lot of places. However, if we're just going to geek out, I don't think it's Quentin's ghost.
Right.
I really don't. I think it is some kind of projection by Judah Zachary to squirrel away Barnabas into some place where he's going to be a lot more vulnerable, and he'll be interested enough in what's going on that he will he'll want to stay. He will name it as a new home and then be killed there pretty quickly, because he does get killed kind of there. Sort of. And so, keeping that in mind. Now, obviously, Judah Zachary is capable of generating ghosts that are members of the family. I mean, he does it later again, not directly,
or project himself as a resemblance of an ancestor.
Sure,
or whatever. Yeah.
Sure. And for whatever reason, he finds those to be the scariest and weirdest ones to pick, and so that's why he picks them. I think that's who we're really dealing with. Everything he does is stuff that Quentin's ghost would have done, and that there was material around it in 1897 for him to do it. But because then who do we have in the room? We have Trask.
Yeah.
And that makes everything make sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, if this is truly, one of these grandfather paradox things, there should be no one in the present who remembers Judah Zachary, or remembers the haunting, remembers Quentin, or any of that when he shows back up. That makes no sense at all.
Yeah.
So this does. Does it make for a better story? I don't know. No, because they didn't discover it. There's no real payoff.
Well, no, there's only salvation, or partial salvation.
Well, yeah, true.
That's the payoff. but
Yeah.
even that's kind of lost in the complexity of the story in a lot of ways.
Yes.
Because they decide to go here and there and everywhere,
Yeah.
past that, behind it, in front of it, sort of. But that's an interesting. I think that's an interesting take, and it certainly works. It works extremely well. It especially works when you consider how, you know. I mean, Judah Zachary's obviously so powerful. He's trans-universal. I mean, he goes wherever he wants.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Time band he
Parallel,
wants.
non-parallel, doesn't matter to
Yeah,
him.
yeah. So this is entirely plausible. What's happening
Now,
here?
when we have the reveal, the one big thing that occurs is that we get a different. I think we get different tolerances of how much time the kids are given. I don't know. I don't know. I got a little confused with something else for a moment.
You tolerance in terms of amount of time and storyline, you mean?
No, I think I had a micro sleep.
Oh, okay.
I had, I suffer from this terrible plexi, and I had a micro sleep.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say something absolutely brilliant. It had to do with the ghost. Oh yeah. I think it's always an interesting thing to assume when we have any character, especially a supernatural character, who's giving us exposition, that they may be lying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've had, shortly before we get a lot of the facts about the ghost later, we have an episode with Beth where Beth is narrating, or no, maybe Quentin's narrating what happened with Beth. It's like Julia goes back in time or something
It's
like
Beth.
that. And
It's Beth.
yeah, okay. And there's a good chance Beth's not telling the truth. We don't
Right.
countenance that. We don't think about it.
Right.
But
Yeah.
there might be some water in that bucket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. In the same way that Quentin might be a shade of something else, so too can Beth.
Absolutely. I mean, and then it becomes interesting who has what to gain by telling this particular narrative. Now the narrative may be true, but it might not be.
Right.
Like the moment I knew it wasn't Quentin's ghost is when you meet Quentin the man. And you hear David Selby speak. He's so charming. He's witty. I mean,
It
there's
doesn't seem like the ghost reflects what
yeah,
Quentin the man would have chosen at all, even if Quentin the man had been pissed off.
Right.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. I think, like, I always thought once they did the Gregory Trask thing that it was Gregory, because you're introduced to Quentin's ghost by the kids. Speaking as a dad, kids can be very gullible and very easy to fool. I mean, they even if they're hearing Trask's voice and he's saying, "I'm Quentin," how are they going to tell the difference? How are they going to know that it's not? You know what I mean?
There's
They're
that,
not.
and then there's the transformative aspect of changing the course of history, which is also a
Yeah.
legitimate way to look at it as well.
And
That's
then
one of the arguments in fandom whenever anybody brings this up. Well, it was always Trask. Maybe it was, but maybe
it
it was
wasn't.
Clinton until they changed history.
Yeah.
But you're right about gullibility of children, because they're told to bury the bones, and they're told, "Oh, it's Quentin, it's your
Yeah.
ancestor," and they do it. But that could have been a mendacious moment.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. There's a lot going on with the kids too. I mean, that's the thing. It's like,
They spent an enormous amount of time on this possession thing.
yeah.
I think it made certain pillars of communities a little nervous at the time. Not nearly as nervous as seeing Diabolos or some
No,
of that stuff,
no.
but still a bit nervous. Jack Chick produced a tract back in the late 60s, early 70s called Bewitched. And the inside of it, you see the devil watching Dark Shadows. So, there was certainly that aspect going on, a little moral panic there. But yeah, absolutely. That's the spice I loved about the show, though.
Yeah.
Moral ambiguity.
Oh
Yeah.
And then it really wasn't moral ambiguity. It was just kind of turning it on its ear and saying, the guy you think's good is evil, and the guy you think is evil is good, and da da da. So,
yeah.
Guys, how great of a mad scientist is Dr. Eric Lang?
How great of a what?
Mad scientist.
he's horrible. He leaves his journals laying about for anyone to see.
Yeah.
Him leaving all the material out is, I think, what really disqualifies him. He's good in the bulging eyes department, and in how cheerful he is about everything that I
That's
shall
right.
declare.
It's like,
Jeff.
Jeff.
Yes, you don't understand, Barnabas. I can take care of him, Julia. I mean,
Yeah.
good Lord.
And Addison Powell's actually a fine actor, was a fine actor, but I think he was one of those guys that just, like when Leela Swift said bigger, he just went for it. So you want me to chew down the chandeliers? Okay, I'll do that.
Well, in the day book that I specifically write about Addison Powell, one of the things that I talk about is that he seems to be the only actor on the show who actually looked up the genre of the show, and so the title was Dark Shadows, and sort of looked around after his first take and said, "Are you guys not doing the same thing I am?" Because, well, I read the script, I'm going to stick with it because it's what the script wants.
Yes. Yeah.
He creates Adam with the with some help. Who's going to be played by Robert Rodan.
But it's initially played by
it's Jude Zachary's body, right?
No.
It's Michael McKay. I thought it was Michael.
No.
Okay, who is it?
Dwayne Morris, our friend Diablo.
Exactly. Oh, Diablos. Yes.
Nice.
I'll have the Diablo sandwich and a Dr. Pepper. Make it snap.
Right,
I'm in a hurry.
Come on.
I'm gonna take a sweet. And I looked up where you can find the Diablo sandwich in, I think, Georgia.
Nice.
Probably loaded with ghost peppers right now.
It may be now. At the time, no, it was just Pete's.
Oh, okay.
It was just Pete's hot sauce. It had, and that was it. That was as hot as it got.
If you order this sandwich, do they play Charlie Daniels?
I would hope, but in
the hopes that the devil won't come up in Georgia. Yes.
Yes.
I know when you order foie gras in a restaurant, they play Charlie Daniels.
Yes.
It's very complicated.
Gosh, what did you guys think of Robert Rodan's performance as Adam here? Basically, it's Frankenstein's monster. Basically, in a sense.
Well, and as Patrick has said in his book, I think that it's a vastly underrated performance by a lot of fandom. That a lot of people think that the whole storyline's kind of boring, so they throw him in there with it, with baby in the bathwater kind of thing. I never thought that storyline was particularly boring. I thought it was a great example and examination of the development of character. As an actor in particular, but also just as an onlooker looking at a character.
Yes.
And so that's, and the whole childhood to adulthood thing and taking the wrong turn, morally or ethically, and which, and making mistakes like young people.
The Pinocchio thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's marvelous. I think Rodan gets to do stuff with playing the Frankenstein's monster architect that no other actor really got to do, because he got to develop it the most thoroughly and follow it, further than other actors had been able to follow it.
Yeah, he had months to actually explore it, rather than just a few weeks on a soundstage.
It's a very nuanced performance. It's just that he happens to be someplace else when he goes through puberty.
Yeah.
Lucky for the FCC. If I'll say this as a side thing, but man, if you guys want to look at an interesting movie, there's a movie that I think is basically a sequel to Frankenstein, sort of. It's called Poor Things with Emma Stone. I believe she got an Oscar for it. Have you seen this?
I have not seen it.
No.
Do you know about it?
I have heard of it. Yes.
It's bloody brilliant.
Yeah.
It is really good. It is the best Frankenstein's monster type story I've ever seen. And Willem Dafoe plays an aged and wise figure who may very well be Frankenstein's monster.
Right.
Nice.
Right. And the makeup is really wild on him too, because his face is
It's-
all patchwork.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it has a strange nobility after a while.
Yes. Well, he has that too, and he's he's a typical looking guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, and he knows it. He knows that when he laughs or when he smiles that he exudes a certain vibe.
Yeah.
He's very aware of
Yeah.
It's Joel, I'll tell you, it's a really good movie. And it's on Movies Anywhere.
Cool. Cool.
it.
We'll have to review it here someday.
Poor things.
Yes, yes. I really love Robert Rodin's performance here. I think he adds so much. I love how, speaking as a dad, I love how quickly the character has to grow up, because it sort of reminds you of raising a kid in a lot of ways. Hey, they grow up real fast.
It just so happens that he's like 6'6" and
Yeah.
enormously powerful, and that kind of changes the odds of parental success.
Yeah, absolutely. And he has to, yeah, as Carolyn says, he became a man. He wants to become a
Yes,
man.
yes.
So I mean, you have that moment where he's like developing maturity and getting older and like getting interested in women and girls and stuff like
Come
that.
on, folks. Let's face it. He's horny all the time.
You have the
Stokes
perfect.
was able to deal with a lot of that.
Yes, I know he was, but unfortunately, he only had two hands.
There's only so much I can do, Adam.
You have the perfect you have the evil Jiminy Cricket and the bad Jiminy Cricket. The evil Jiminy Cricket being Nicholas,
Oh yes,
and
absolutely.
the good Jiminy Cricket being Professor Stokes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Nicholas is the fox, leading him off to Pleasure Island.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Stokes is what, the owl, I would say,
Or just Geppetto.
Just
saying, don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah. It is good. It's like the better angels and the not so good angels sitting on the shoulder of this character, only they're personified in actual real time people. Well, one of them's a person anyway.
We didn't get a lot of the devil in Dark Shadows. We did get the devil in Dark Shadows.
We got so much of it that people were exploding with devilry. It's just that they called it, Diabolos or Nicholas or Judah or but I mean that's kind of how they got around it.
Alan, white people call it maize.
Maize, not corn. Maize.
Okay. Promise, margarine.
Promise.
God, but what did you guys think of them? Because they go down into hell. Angelique does.
It's a great set. Fantastic set.
Yes, I love that set.
I mean, it had a hotel desk in it.
I was about to say, especially Diablos' little his office area where he has a little desk to do his little.
Should have had one of those little ding bells. Makes his guests hit the bell.
I wanted him to have a Newton's cradle on his desk.
Yeah,
that someone gave to him for an anniversary or something. My wife gave this to me.
That's right.
From what I understand.
Do not touch this, or I'll send you to the 7th level. I love Dwayne Morris in the midst of all of that too. Like, you have summoned me. This whole thing that he does with his voice. It's wonderful. It's
why I Otto.
It's right.
Do you know what I was doing? I had to clean up real fast. That's all I'll say.
Yes,
I'm not even sure I remember.
My robes can only cover so much. Doing my devilry here. But yeah, that was one of the incidents in which, even though they changed the name of it from like Satan straight up, and anticipating it, that was one of the things they got a lot of letters from fundamentalists on. But, how do you do? Why are you showing the devil? Well, because there are vampires and werewolves and shit on the show. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I mean, your
Yeah.
people are always saying yes, and I said your people. This is how I would have addressed them. I would have said, your people are always accusing, this show of being in line with the devil. So we might as
well,
well
here he is.
get something out of it.
That's right.
Yeah, here. You're so
Here.
weird about
Now
the
he's
devil.
part of the story.
Here. No, now
He-
you can say that we're putting the devil on the air. Leave us
That's
alone,
right.
because John the Brid's not it. He's sweet.
That's right.
When he's, well, I don't know.
Uh, yeah, yeah. No, I do think they got too much flack for showing hell and showing Satan. Yeah,
Given the time, I think it probably helped their cause more than hurt it. But yes, they did. They got some flack for it. Absolutely, they got letters. They got people being interviewed about it in the Bible Belt and everything else. The same people that burned Beatles records were up in arms about Diabolos. And also, how can a reverend be bad? That kind of thing with the Trasks. I mean, here, you didn't like the first one. Here's another one.
Well, notice right after that, there's a Trask who's even worse.
That's right. And I absolutely loved that aspect of the series. Even as a kid, I loved the fact that they were so undermining of standard mores and all of that sort of stuff, while at the same time upholding real ethics, morals, and responsibility, at least in part, and also the complexity of the human condition, which is makes everything interesting, and yeah, even as a kid, I understood that it was very subversive that way. And that's owing to the writers. They were pretty subversive people,
Yes, they were.
They had wit and intelligence and natural subversion.
Yeah, I suspect here and there, there's Dan. Can we do some political stuff as long as it brings in the ratings?
That's right. Don't name anybody, okay? Here, have a cigarette, Sam. Smoke my cigarette. Come on.
You name names, Bennis.
Oh, God. Yeah, but I did find it interesting, and I love how they had there's that too. But yeah, I'll be right back, guys.
Okay. Diabolos is in the house.
The joys of fatherhood.
Ah, yes. Absolutely.
Sometimes it's so well timed. Coincidence is such a funny thing, because I often say, there's no God, but there is an author.
The serendipity author, yes.
Yeah. AJ had a good episode of Y-Files about synchronicity recently. I may have mentioned this before, and it's the only thing that ever gave me pause to re-examine the rather, I don't know, ludicrous notion of this law of attraction. But AJ gets into quantum parallel realities and things like that, and makes a very good, interesting, pseudoscience-based argument for it that works pretty well. That's all I got. I'm out.
That's enough.
It is enough. It is enough.
It explains it all for you. And
let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
If you were MPI, you had the 60th anniversary coming up, and you had to come out with, let's say anywhere between 1 to 3 different merchandise items to put out for fans and prospective fans that would also celebrate that 60th anniversary, what would you come out with?
Well, I might, for one of the 3, do a reissue of the music box, because that's a very sort of central sort of artifact to the show. I wouldn't play around at all with the cane or the ring anymore. We've done that several times, and also there are much more high quality canes out there if you have to have $400-500 to spend.
Yes.
So maybe Magda's crystal ball with a nice base, something that maybe even slightly better than what was on the show.
Would you do anything that was not a direct prop recreation?
Yeah, I might. Um, maybe, maybe a commemorative book. I don't know.
Okay.
Um,
Because I've been thinking about the coloring book and the paper doll book, both of which were a lot of fun.
yeah, I'm waiting on my paper dolls, and I have a feeling they're delayed because of the whole Quentin Page snafu. But they'll be
Quentin
here.
Page snafu. What's that?
They forgot to put the Quentin Page in the book.
Oh.
So what they've done is that they're if they'd already sent the book out, they're sending a page that is the Quentin Page.
Okay.
If they hadn't sent the book out, they're putting it inside the book, and then sending
All
it.
right.
So
All right.
I'm expecting mine sometime this month. I've actually got 2 on order, so we'll see.
I was gonna say, the kids who Jewel's back.
Yes.
Yeah. What's you guys' favorite parallel time journey? Is it 1841? Is it 1970?
Tough.
Yeah, it is. I like sections of 1970 really well. The action-packed Jebez Summoner and all of that kind of stuff is kind of fun. I'm not, but my favorite segment in that last year and a half of the show is not a parallel timeline. It's 1995. In terms of oddly different, not past kind of stuff. 1840 is probably my favorite of the whole last year. But parallel time 1970 is sartorially repugnant in a lot of ways, but it's also colorful in a lot of ways.
Who has the pantsuit? Who's the ghost?
Oh, yes. The sort of a douche ex machina ghost.
Yeah. Julie, remember the
Who
ghost
looks
who
like
appears
he's
in
right
this?
out of disco because he's got this terry cloth jumpsuit on or whatever it is. Some people think that's wonderful, and I'm not real keen on it.
I think it's fantastic. I think there's
Trying to think of the name of the guy. The guy that played him was Jared Holmes, who also did music.
Okay.
He was a pop singer.
I think it would have been hilarious if Barnabas had to put on that suit at some point.
Yeah. I think it was probably enough that he had to put on the snug fitting smoking dressing gown thingies that he had in 1967.
Yeah, Julian went Christmas shopping.
Yeah.
This is what he got.
Damian Edwards was the ghost we were trying to think of. The ghost
That's
of
right.
Damian Edwards.
Damian Edwards.
Resided in a basement wall.
Yes, it was, and he's trying to hang Quentin, right?
Oh, he was just, but most of the time he was just sashaying around in his,
What is this box?
his jumpsuit. So.
Oh, you're talking about Damian Edwards, yeah.
Yes.
Here, that's one for you, because by the time like Damian Edwards tries to hang Quentin, we have Angelique who Alexis has woken up, and Angelique basically somewhat stops that.
Yes, because Angelique was directly connected with Damian Edwards because she had played tonsil hockey with him back in the day. So, yeah, she'd been a lover of his. So she may have even I can't no I think actually Roger whacked him along with everybody else, but yeah.
Yeah, because Roger is a killer in 1970 parallel.
Jealous bitch.
Yeah, he's
so jealous of Angelique or anybody that's paying attention to Angelique.
I believe he's the one that murders Angelique too.
Yes, because he's so jealous.
Yeah,
so jealous.
That really says a lot.
Guys, it took us like it took us till 1970 parallel time to get a theme for Angelique, Ode to Angelique. What did you guys think?
Yeah.
Is that's the one?
Yes, that's the one.
It's a beautiful piece of music. It has, though, I think, a really tasteless rendition on the piano. If you go to certain, I would experience this at certain sort of upper end Chinese restaurants back in the 80s and 90s. There'd be a guy on the piano, and he wouldn't sing or anything like that. And it was
Just
clearly, somebody's nephew or something. But this guy had learned every trill and glissando you could do and was desperate to work them all into a single song. And Ode to Angelique really sounds like it's that song.
yeah. It didn't make the charts. Let's put it that way. It was not box
Yeah.
office. However, it's good to have a signature theme. Although I always considered a passage of music her signature, which was that whole, that whole
Oh,
thing
yeah.
when she appeared. That became her thing, even though it had been on the show before she appeared. But that became her signature. She owned that. I think that's a better thing than the
It is a
Ode to
good song.
Angelique.
It's an
Yeah,
inherently eerie piece of music,
yeah,
and nothing is going to go well. Any
yes.
scene, any moment in your life that begins
That's
with
right.
that piece of music,
It's like,
run.
oh, here she comes.
Yeah, yeah. There's going to be a link in the description box when we're done here. There's a guy playing it on the violin, I think.
Uh-huh.
Really, really good. Uh,
It's on YouTube too.
yeah,
Almost all of the Dark Shadows related themes and so on are on YouTube somewhere, so you
Yeah.
can find it.
yeah. But yeah, what's you guys's what's some of your I mentioned about effects before, but what's something that do you guys really when you first watched DS completely shocked you?
The werewolf coming through the candy glass window at the Blue Whale
Yeah.
scared the
I,
crap.
Yeah,
Alex Stevens on the balcony
Yeah,
of
I mean
coming,
that,
jumping down. Holy
that's a
cow.
spectacular jump. Yeah, it
yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah. Because you're not expecting the blue whale to be crashed through. I think
No,
that's and
we
Alex Stevens, hell of a stunt man. They were showing some of his stunts when what's your line? Um, like he did some stunts.
yeah.
But my God,
Well, he was outside of being the two werewolves. He was also stunt for what's her name, the medium, Janet Findlay. He fell down the stairs in drag.
Really?
Yes,
Now,
that's him.
do you think that just happened on set and they filmed it and decided to put it in the episode?
No, I think they said get dressed.
Here's a waste paper basket to sit in.
Sorry, Kaveda Humphrey is not going to fall down the staircase. Okay,
no,
we don't
no.
want to pay her the extra money. You're already on salary. Come on.
Barbara Kaysen was up to it. She would have done it.
Yeah, she probably would have. Face first. Oh.
Oh
Uh,
my God. My God.
he tried to destroy the floor at Lyndhurst.
That's right.
Drop that tray and
Drop
left
the
mark in
tray.
the stone floor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Accidents happen, man. Accidents
Yeah.
happen.
She got a
So,
little excited about dropping her tray.
yeah. Oh my gosh. Let me think. So with 1970 parallel time, and we know Barnabas isn't there for a portion because obviously Jonathan's off filming House of Dark Shadows.
Correct.
Um, how did you guys view the show without Fred in parallel time for a lot of it? What did you guys think of that?
I didn't think it was just because of Fred. First of all, let me say that. But it was kind of a meander there for a while, trying to build a story when several of the leads were out of town, and B,
Hmm.
several more of the supporting actors going back and forth all the time. And and the writer, Sam Hall, and also Gordon Russell, who I think contributed to that first script. Although Sam Hall, I think, is single credit for House. Um, they were being stretched, really thin, really thin. So it was not terrible by any stretch of the imagination. There was still some interesting things happening, but it was moving at a slower pace. It was not quite as enlivened as it had been, particularly when you're comparing it to 1897, of course. Everybody does. And even Leviathan. Was more enlivened in a lot of ways than that first month and a half. I guess it was 5 weeks that they were off upstate doing the thing. And during that period of time, it was just trying to keep it going long enough so we can get our guys back. It had that sense to it in some instances. Again, there's still some interesting things going on because you got brilliant writers, but they're also like on the verge of burnout. So.
Yeah. Patrick, what did you think?
What he said.
Yeah. I do think they did a great job of really putting the show. The characters were interesting. Maggie leaving Quentin did a really, really good job. And obviously, hey, 2 Laura Parkers are better than 1.
Well, yeah, that was a bonus for sure. I mean, I thought they did the best they could under the circumstances. I just thought.
Are you talking about
picked up after that was done?
You're talking about the Alexa Angelique confrontation?
Yes.
I think that was, considering the technology they had, I think that was very well done.
That was, at that point in time, they could actually afford to do an edit, or 2. And so they did.
All right. I don't have any more questions for you guys. Is there anything you want to add for you? Sorry.
Dark Shadows changed your life, viewer.
Dark Shadows deposition is this.
Dark Shadows deposition.
Poke people with a stick. Sort of. Oh my gosh. But tomorrow we're gonna cover the kidnapping and escape of Maggie Evans. We're also gonna cover the arrival of Dr. Julia Hoffman. So
this goes between like 259, 260, and 265, 266.
Yes. So yes. But yeah. A link to Patrick McCray's Dark Shadows Day book about is going to be in the description box. Link to Alan Gallant's YouTube channel, Collins Sport After Dark, is going to be in the description box. You can follow me on Rumble. The link will be in the description box as well.
Rumble.
I'm on Rumble too now.
What's Rumble?
Rumble's basically like YouTube. I'm still on YouTube, but I'm also on Rumble.
Gotta check that out. I didn't even know anything about Rumble, so.
So this video will also be on Rumble.
Hello, Rumble.
Yeah,
it's lovely to be
Rumble.
Patrick and Alvin are always ready to rumble.
You
guys have a safe night. Take care.
Take care, Joel. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.